Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Innocent and I'm the founder and CEO of Project Purpose. Welcome to our channel. Our community is focused on fostering the intellectual and character development in children. We do this through our parent-child workshops that are focused on 4 themes: autonomy, self-efficacy, compassion, and self-concept, in order to cultivate grit, perseverance, and resilience in each child. And we are so thrilled to be offering one of the first of its kind digital, virtual, and continuous learning environments, enabling parents and children to connect from all around the world. At Project Purpose, our overarching mandate is to renew and rebuild family, community, and relationships. Our different social media platforms provide us with an opportunity to have discussions and to create space for all topics that relate to family, community, and relationships with ourselves as well as with others, with a primary focus on mental health and education. More precisely, the ways that the institutions of mental health and education play a role and have played a role in our societies at large. These discussions and debates provide us with an opportunity to think critically about what needs to change within these structures for us to live up to our bold slogan: support, protect, and empower each child through youth-focused development, better known as leadership in juvenescence. We recognize that in valuing our children's leadership potential, this also translates as recreating and co-creating environments, both socially and politically, that will enable our children to thrive. For those of you who are particularly keen on the topic, we also write thought pieces every other Monday. We're actually dropping a thought piece this upcoming Monday, so definitely be sure to meander over to the website and check out our online content. Now, if it is the case that you're looking for a listening alternative, well, we're available wherever podcasts are playing, and we provided you with access to a few links down below. Now, as is the convention, be sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you are aware of every time we post. And of course, if you like these conversations and you want to keep them going, like, comment, and share this segment. Let's get into it. Allô les meufs et les mecs. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another segment here on Project Purpose. For those of you who are new, we cover topics that relate to mental health, mental wellness, and education on a week-by-week basis. And today's topic of discussion is education. On the conversation around education, I want to talk about the education that starts at home. And we're going to be talking about self-efficacy, developing self-efficacy. And so for those of you who are wondering, well, what does that term mean exactly? It's cultivating an inner sense of an inner sense of knowing, of understanding that you have the capability of doing whatever it is you set your mind to do. And a lot of the times, if many of us, or if we do feel a sense of hindered self-efficacy, it's a lot of what is done for us on our behalf that ends up hurting our confidence and our ability to do things autonomously, independently, and on our own without guidance or guardrails. And so that can really be what impacts our sense of self-efficacy, but we can build up from scratch wherever it is that we are right now. And so self-efficacy cannot be faked. It's something that you have to develop and that you have to cultivate, and the only way really to truly cultivate a deep sense of self-efficacy is through practice and experience. So for those of us who have a sense of self-efficacy, it is because we have done things on our own. So with that experience, we recognize that we can do things on our own. The more that you trial and error on your own, regardless of the timeline that it takes, you recognize that you are capable of doing a lot more than you think and a lot more than what you've already done. And I think that that's just an important note to keep in mind, especially if you're combating with inner doubt, with a sense of not feeling sure, of apprehension, bridging off into unknown territory. I just want you to know that every one of us have the ability to do that. We can make it out, we can break new ground, we can try new things and excel at these new things. But how we make sure we start and finish strong is this sense of self-efficacy. Rather than pulling on our failures as causes for why we're going to fail, we pull at our successes, at our wins, and at all the different ways that we did show up, and we leverage that information in the back of our minds to be able to fuel our energy forward and whatever it is that we're doing next, or even fuel ourselves to develop the bravery to do something different, to do something new. And so I think self-efficacy is super, super important, especially for those of us who are trying to break away from some of the narratives, some of the messaging around what we can and cannot do that can be something that is a byproduct of gender, a byproduct of stereotypes, of prejudice, of different things that we could hear that are subversive, that are unconscious, that are biases that we end up internalizing, that we end up creating a limited experience as a result of that. So if we want to break free from limiting beliefs, it starts with cultivating the sense of self-efficacy, and that starts with doing something that you don't think you can do, but setting yourself for success no matter what comes in front of you. And so I think that that's really important when it is the case that you're goal planning, that you really do a full 360 as to what that terrain is going to entail. You figure out, well, how do I maximize my chances of success, and how do I make sure that I walk away with at least some modicum of success so that I can leverage that as a way of developing my sense of self-efficacy. And so that's a big factor. I'm going to give you three, but one of the biggest factors when it comes to cultivating self-efficacy is setting yourself up for success, which means you level set and you set yourself up with a realistic understanding as to what it's going to take to get there, and then setting yourself up as you begin to do whatever it is that you need to do, maintaining integrity, of course, to get there, so that you recognize that even if you take the hardest path, the straightest path forward, you can do the things you want to do. And often it is in building the sense of self-efficacy, building in our sense of inner belief in ourselves and our abilities and our capabilities and our talents and our gifts, that we start to reflect that in the world around us, rather than walk into situations assuming the worst. We walk into situations assuming the best, recognizing the value we bring and not just hoping to be seen as valuable by those around us as a way of validating that sense of wanting to be valued for ourselves. So I think that it's really important that we do that little bit of a mind shift where we recognize that the value we see ourselves as bringing into the room is the value that people are going to receive from us. And oftentimes it is the case that we walk into the room with our insecurities and with our broken sense of self-efficacy, and we hope that people pour into that and build us back up, build us our sense of capability and our sense of being able to do things. And sometimes we find that in mentors and teachers and people who want to help us grow and help us develop. But a lot of the times it's the give and take, it's the effort people put in, but also the effort that you put in into cultivating that sense of inner belief. And without that inner belief, it's really, really hard to continuously focus on growth and evolution, on recognizing your ability to grow and evolve beyond your current situation, and on breaking free from limited environments that really are byproduct of your limited beliefs and what you can and cannot do, can and cannot accomplish based on the messaging that you yourself have received. And again, this messaging can be very broad. It can be societal messaging that you've received that have really shaped the way that you see the world around you, or it can be very specific and be some of the messaging that you were raised in that can be really defeating in the way that you think about your ability to push forward through challenging situations. So I think that it's really important that as you think about the work that you need to do to cultivate self-efficacy, you think about what has played into why your sense of confidence is a little bit shaky, is sometimes for some of us shattered. It can be one pivotal core memory, one specific situation that really shifted our ability to see ourselves as it relates to the world around us, or it can be a series of situations, of memories, of interactions that have built up and into our sense of, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe this isn't something that I can do. And again, if you've started something out with confidence and with the sense that maybe this is something that you could do, but then something shakes your confidence halfway through, in order to cultivate that sense of self-efficacy, you need to keep pushing through the doubt, keep pushing through the imposter syndrome, because the imposter syndrome is more mind over matter. And I have to tell you that if we conquer our minds, if we are the master of our minds, we are the master of the world around us. And so self-efficacy is really cultivating that inner sense of belief in our own capacity to be the masters of the world around us, belief in our sense of creativity, in the ways that we can create the world that we want with the things that we do, with the goals that we pursue, and with the ambitions that we ourselves carry. And each of us carries ambition, each of us have passion, we have purpose, but often it is in building the bricks that are the foundation of self-efficacy, building this sense of confidence in your ability to put things into the ether and come out with something that is in alignment with what you're looking for, or even bigger or better. That is really the ground foundational aspect of growth, evolution, and development as a mindset. And so that's why we have that as part of our leadership development programs for children. It's why we really do consider it to be one of the big pillars of leadership development, and why it is one of the core pillars when it comes to the parent-child workshop that we offer: self-efficacy, compassion, autonomy, and of course, self concept. We think that if you have these inner beliefs, these inner foundational mindsets in place, and you have some of the skills that build into them, then by all means, who is going to stop you in whatever it is you choose to pursue? And I think that's the attitude that we want every person to have in hand. In any case, that is a topic for today, some food for thought for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nothing as of yet as it relates to my stalking situation. You will be the first to know once I do, and I look forward to chatting with all of you very soon. We'll talk to you later.